Been doing a lot of thinking, figuring out, putting things together and whatnot. Clearly, I'm on my spiritual journey of path. Because as I'm doing everything, going through life and just whatever, flowing through it, I always find myself learning, seeing things, and it's correlating to what I feel I want to do in life. But I'm like, but everything that I'm on and going through right now, it has something to do with what I should be doing and what I should be working myself up to. As I sit here and think and realize I'm on a spiritual journey and what I should be doing, how I should be doing it, I mean, it's cloudy all around me, but it started opening up. I don't know if you can see it. It started opening up right there. So if you can see that opening right there, clearly the clouds are starting to open up again, and maybe whatever I'm thinking something right. So as I'm going through this, I'm going to put it out there in case anybody going there and take a similar route or they go through similar experiences. Like I said, I'm starting right now from homelessness and just working my way up. Why not? What else is there to do in life other than just start over again? It's like playing the game. You beat the game and you just play the game over again. You just do it differently or you learn the levels more. So, started over pretty much. And I already felt what it felt like to be homeless out in the street, feeling pathetic. I swear it's a great experience because I like feeling emotions, whatever. But I realize when it comes to certain things, there are levels to it. There's levels to everything, and being on the homeless level, there's a whole level to that. And I managed to get myself from being on the streets into a shelter, but I'm just hovering on that level, still in the homeless level, but I'm hovering in that level because it's like there's still more I need to learn. There's still more I need to do. When you're in a situation like this, especially if you're empathic or just like I'm just start all over. There's a lot of things you need to be careful with because when you're on the level of homelessness, you gotta understand that when you're around a bunch of people who has similar problems, it creates a whole new, let's say, energy field. You can feel these different types of energies of different emotions of what people is going through that is similar, and it creates when you combine all of that together, it creates a whole different energy. So it could be anything on your mind where it's similar to other people. So you'll start seeing things in your mind, whether you went through it or not, and you start questioning yourself because you're looking at everybody around you and you questioning what happened, what you're doing, then you start putting yourself in a particular emotion. You start adapting to your environment. So you're around a bunch of people who feel sorry for themselves, who've done something, this and that. You start thinking that way. You feel sorry for yourself, and you start thinking about the things you've done. Could this have led me to this place? It starts fucking with your mind. But I kid you not. Me being empathic and learning how to break down empathicness in my own way, I started realizing that there's a lot of people in here for similar reasons. I experience some reasons, so I have my own thoughts of it. If I don't have my own thoughts of it, then I will go by a thought of what somebody told me and put myself in that situation. But at this point, I went through the situation. And I have moments where I randomly started thinking about certain things, and as you're thinking about that particular thought or moment in your life, it's like you feel the emotions there. You already time traveling in a way, which a lot of people don't realize it, but you're time traveling at that point because not only are you thinking, but you're bringing that emotion back into the present. So it will allow your mind, your thought, your feelings, your body to put you in that particular situation again, but it blends in with the environment you in. So it's a whole thing and it fucks with your mind. A lot of people get themselves caught in that because when they on a path and they have a goal, they start blending in with their environment and start thinking like everybody else is around them, which constantly throws them off. I went through that myself. Even though I haven't been in this shelter and doing this for too long, it's like I'm progressing a little quicker. I'm learning a lot. But you got to be careful when you're taking that route, because when you're there, you start thinking like everybody else. When you're in that mode and you start feeling some type of way, don't feel sorry for yourself, but pay attention to your surroundings. Understand the people that surround you so you can get out of that situation. Don't level yourself out where you're just on the same level as them. Yeah, you on the same level, but you're thinking at a different leveling process. So you're already on the level, but you want to pull yourself out of wherever they got themselves in, so you don't feel that way. Be careful what stories you hear. It's okay to hear a story, but don't get sucked into that story and you start repeating certain people's actions, or you start thinking like them when they're trying to tell you, oh, don't do this, don't do it. Hey, it's all on you. Get the proper information or whatever it is you're trying to do. Just don't let nobody knock you off your path. At this point, I'm at the point where, yeah, I'm in this shelter, I'm working, but I'm not only in a shelter, around homelessness a lot, addicts, people who gets out of jail, all of that. Not only am I that, and the job I pay, it don't pay much, but it's all a learning process. I realize that I do want to open my own shelter too, but what's the problems that other people have so I can make it differently? I want to make sure that that shelter and other shelters I have a job for. The job I'm at right now, it's easy to get in. No, they don't pay a lot, but it's giving people something to do. When I'm thinking in that process, it's like when people are busy, they change their mind aspect, which gives a whole different energy. When people are just not doing that, it creates this whole type of energy. I want to be able to give homeless people jobs and figure out situations that they're in to get the energies of homelessness at a different level. I want to be able to give homes, feed people, give them jobs, help them with certain situations, or leave them to be to do what they do, but they still have a place to sleep, a place to eat, or something like that. There are people who wants to get out of the addiction they're in. I want to be able to help them too by putting them in a different environment, a working environment, and so they can be able to kick their habits. There are different levels to what I want to do, and how am I able to do all of this? I don't even know. That's where I start to realize and pay attention to everything else that's going on around me, how everything is forming, the type of people I come through, the type of energies I feel. It's a whole lot to try to process and to do what it is that I'm always told that it's impossible, it's going to be hard to do. You know what? I guess I'm at the point where it's like, if it's hard to do, let's see why. So you put yourself in a situation where, why is this like this? What is my goal? All I can say is that my goal is to help people. I don't want to look in a way where it's like I'm trying to be a hero, or I don't want to look in a way where I'm looking down upon somebody. It's their choices of whether they want to get help or not, and that's the plan. How I'm going to do it, I don't even know. But as I keep going on this path and journey, things start to uncover. Things start to reveal itself to me, and I start putting things together, and it starts telling me, oh, is this why I gotta... Now, me, with where my life is, I got different types of things that give me communication to try to notify me that I'm doing something right. Whether it's the clouds doing something, the sun doing something, the wind blowing, random, like I said, throughout a lot of things I've been trying to study about myself, is that things happen for a reason. A lot of times people are always looking for something magical to happen, and it comes off so magically, like in the movies or something. But to really understand how impossible or magical this reality is, or the universe is, for you to actually really want something to get manifested, it's not gonna just pop out of nowhere and it's already made. You gotta remember, this is supposedly reality. What you want has to be made, and it has to be a reason for it to get to you or how it's going to get to you. That's why when you want to manifest, you can't just sit there and think. You got to be able to put something into action so you can put the energy out there to get it started. So maybe you want something, and then you putting the energy out there, you putting the works in to either try to get it, to get the information of it, or whatever heck. Later on down the line, maybe you forget, or you just still thinking about it. Maybe you win a prize, or somebody that you know knew you wanted it, or just automatically had something that you wanted. It's so many different ways it can happen. You just got to give it, the universe, some time to put into actions. Remember, every action is being watched. Are you deserving of this? If so, then we're just going to give you the opposite of what you want. It's those type of details you got to pay attention to, especially when you want to do something very huge. Sometimes you have to put work to something. Maybe you have to talk to somebody. You have to send in something. Something has to be done to make sure everything falls in your favor. You have to put yourself to work. But as you're putting yourself to work to what you're doing, it's like a whole meter, good or bad. It's like asking Santa for something, but every time you're trying to get to a different point, you're always being wagered. Are you deserving of this? Are you deserving of that? This is where, choices come in. You got to be careful what choices you make, especially who you're around. So, again, when you're on the homeless level, you're around addicts, you're around people who just sad with their life. You have to be able to not let that sink into your mind and see that about yourself, because you'll find yourself in a moment. If somebody's telling you about some drugs, and maybe you think you ain't gonna do that and this and that, but you're thinking about it in your mind, you're gonna come into an opportunity where you could take some, you could try it, see what they're talking about, or you're gonna take the other route like, nah, man, I'm good, fuck that. It'll be weird, because it's like, damn, I just got done talking about this. Well, it's like now you're being presented with it. You don't want to do this, or maybe doing this can put you on a different path, or put you on, make something happen. That's why you gotta be careful with your choices. Everything is almost like a contract signing. You're just not signing it with pen and paper. You're signing it with your energy, your actions you do. So that's why I'm paying more attention to who I'm talking to, because you will go through who you hang around the most. You start to become more like people. They start telling you more stories about themselves, and then you find yourself in situations that's similar to what they said, or have dreams about what they said and what they went through. Then you start once you put yourself in their shoes, or feel what they feel, or all of that, then you can start picking holes, because it's like, I just acted like I was you. Why the fuck would you do this? Why would you do that? Or this don't sound right. You start learning how to poke holes and question things. Like, most of the time, I don't even question no more, because people just lie. I can feel it when they lie. But when you starting over, man, you gotta make sure you have a strong mind. Get yourself out of it. There's so many ways to get yourself out of something. Just stay focused. When you find yourself losing, thought, digging yourself in a hole, you have to think positive about yourself. I'm able to do that because, again, I put myself in a situation. I was already to the point where I don't want to do shit. Like, what is there to do? What's the whole point of doing anything? And that's how I still view it, but like I said, I'm on my path. My path is to do something, maybe to help. I don't know. But at this point, I don't feel the need to get rich. What I'm going to get rich for? To buy shit? To always be around people who's going to try to use me for my money? Nah, my goal is to make sure as I rise, other people is rising. So they don't realize I'm just rising with you. They looking at their self out there like, oh, look, I got this and that. They don't realize I'm right behind you, like, or right beside you, I got this too. I'm proud of you. Keep doing good. I wish I was like you. I want to have that feeling about people. I don't want to have all this money, then I won't know what to do. I could give it out, but then there's got to be a plan. There's got to be a plan to making a lot of money and making sure I distribute it out to people the proper way. To be able to put my thoughts out there, just as everybody else in the past, because everything you see is a figment of somebody's imagination that they bring into reality, and you looking at it as you live. It's just people's different worlds that they view is just put together, but you really looking at a figment of other people's imagination that they just managed to manifest into reality. And you can do it just as easily without even knowing with the environment you in. You gotta be careful with how you're blending in, because sometimes you blend in and don't ever know it. All I gotta say is if you feel comfortable and you're not really worrying about nothing, you blending in. I blend in everywhere. I blend in everywhere. I just always stick out after a while. I try to blend in. That's the whole goal. Blend in, not be seen, but learn. Learn from the corner. I'm always being spotted. Either way. But yeah, this is gonna be something, man. I'm gonna try to upload, keep document of being here. It can help somebody if they on their path. It may help me if I happens to rewatch it or look at it. I don't know. Trying to find a meaning to something. So put yourself in a situation, find a meaning. That meaning can help somebody else if they ever find themselves in that situation. So here I am. I'm having a ball. It's just anyway, in my own thoughts, I feel like I'm having a ball doing this, but for actual emotions, me learning to control my emotions and how I feel, it's like I learned to feel that. Yeah. Somebody giving me $50. Oh, yeah, $50. Sweet. I ain't excited. I be careful with how I feel. It attracts certain people. I guess it gives off an energy, a look. I don't know. I just be careful with my emotions. Weird things happen when I get too happy or too mad. Weird shit happens. So I do learn to feel nothing, but I gotta feel something. There's a reason to that. Later on, sometimes it'll start making sense, but I have to control my emotions, especially going through what I've been putting myself through. It takes a lot of, how can I say it? It takes a lot of building to get your stress levels to a point where you don't lose your thought, or you don't lose your sanity. But it's fun, so let's keep it pushing it.